Hello, today Kevin and I are back together again to talk about Social Security. It's an exciting topic for our pilots that are nearing retirement. You know, you're approaching retirement in the airlines. What should you be thinking about Social Security? How do we maximize that benefit? So we're going to have some question and answer today, Kevin, real quick, and hit the highlights. It's a very in-depth topic, but we're going to try to keep it a little bit brief today.
Yeah, so if you talk with younger pilots about Social Security, they say, yeah, whatever. But when we get to maybe 5, 6 years away from actually having to retire, it starts to get more exciting, Charlie. And today we're going to talk about the fact that Social Security is not only real money, but it can really impact a financial plan.
Yeah.
So the first thing that we get asked quite a bit is there going to be Social Security there? And probably the best thing we can say is that for the clients that we're talking about, for the pilots that we're talking about, it probably will be, because typically when they've made changes to Social Security, they've typically made changes to those that are 55 and younger.
Yeah, and it's interesting, Kevin, because there's a lot of fear out there about Social Security, a lot of misinformation, and it's they're going to have to change some things, because in what is the year 2037, if my notes are correct, then they're only going to be able to fund 75% of the benefit. But that's if nothing changes. And this is a very hot political topic. So expect to change. It's a small mathematical change. In fact, one example might be 12.4% to 14.4% payroll tax increase, 2%, which we don't like tax increases at all, but that's the mathematical increase you're talking about to solve that problem.
Yeah, so what Charlie's saying is it's more of a political hot button than it is a mathematical issue. It can be changed and fixed pretty easily.
Yeah, so Kevin, our retiring pilots, when should they start? Hey, I'm 62, I can take Social Security benefits, I'm going to do that, right?
Right, absolutely. Well, you could, but you're not going to get any money. And the reason is, if you're 62 and you're still working, making a good income, you lose, I think it's $1 for every $3 of income over a certain threshold, so you're really not going to get any money. So we would suggest not to do anything with Social Security, at least until you retire at 65. But really, for the most part, it's better to continue to wait until your full retirement age.
Yeah, at a minimum full retirement age, huh?
Right.
So we'll talk about the increase there in a second. But what about the spousal benefit? You know, I'm married, and what does my spouse get if he or she has never worked? Are they going to get anything?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's something a lot of people are not aware of, that the spouse will always get at least half. So the higher earning spouse, or maybe the only spouse that was earning money, the spouse will get at least half of the higher earner. Now, if the higher earner does pass away, the spouse will end up getting their benefit.
That's right. But even if the spouse never worked, they're going to get half of their other spouses.
That's
All right. So with the other one, what about taxes on Social Security? Am I going to owe taxes on my Social Security benefit?
Yeah, so for most of the folks that we work with, probably be paying tax on 85% of their Social Security that they receive. I think the threshold now, married filing jointly, is $44,000, and above that, you let's say you receive $30,000 of income, you're going to pay tax on 85% of that $30,000.
Yeah, so pretty much everybody we're talking to here, count on paying 80 of the benefit you receive. 85% will be taxable at whatever income tax rate you're paying. So that depends on your other income sources as well. So Kevin, what about some action items? What do we tell our nearing pilots, or pilots that are near retirement? What can they do? Give us 3 things that we can do today.
Well, I can tell you the first thing I would do is run the numbers. Again, it is a lot more exciting when you know in a few years you will be receiving the money. And you need to be a little bit careful with these break-even calculators that are online if you are married, and that's because the break-even is a little bit more complex than the calculators make it. But you can see on the screen here, we're showing all the different choices somebody would have: retiring or taking Social Security at 62, full retirement age, or even waiting until 70. And there's major differences in the amount of money. And it really has a lot to do, Charlie, with the rest of the money that you have when you're looking at this. If you're a pilot, you have a lot of money, you have maybe military pensions, other pensions, it can really make that Social Security decision a little bit different.
Yeah, and it also, we need to factor in, your spouse's age, the difference in ages. Are they younger, significantly older? So you've got to run the numbers, and like you and I have done this many times for our client families, and we've seen the value that Social Security is, like you said, it's not exciting until you get to this point, and you see that lifetime value can be 1.2 to $2 million lifetime value Social Security for a married couple, depending on the work history.
Yeah, and that's the highest we've seen. It is about $2 million for two spouses that are working and making really good money. But it can be for, I'll say, a normal a pilot couple where there's a pilot and then there's a spouse. We've seen it routinely be about $1.3 million, if the life expectancy is realized.
That's right. So number one, run the numbers. Kevin, number two, we've already kind of said, just wait till you're full retirement age. Again, if you're, that's generic advice, but if you're an airline pilot and you're retiring at 65, don't take it while you're working. Look at what your full retirement age is, and don't take it before that in general. And it might even make sense to wait till you're 70, because what is that, 8% per year from 66 to 70?
That's right. And for some, your retirement age is going to be 66 in a few years. If you're born after 1960, it's going to be age 67. And if you get nothing else from this, taking it at full retirement age is usually a pretty doggone good decision.
That's right. That's right. And the third takeaway step you're going to think about, and this is not really an action step, but think of it like you just talked about. It's not all about the break even. It's also about, this is insurance against living too long. So it's essentially like one of the best annuities, or the best annuity you could possibly get. So think about that. Number one, run the numbers. Number two, think about full retirement age or later. And number three, think of it not just mathematically break even, but as a longevity insurance, and we're all living longer. So hopefully that's helpful.
Yeah, Charlie, I think that's exactly right. A lot of people say, well, what's the biggest pile of money that I can get, or my spouse and I can get? And it's not just that. It's also, like you said, what if you live to 95? Well, if you live to 95, it's better to have Social Security taken later, because then you're going to have more money at the end of your life.
That's right. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much.